Hey guys, it's Lee with Untapped Potential. Okay, we talked about it last time and now we're ready. Battle mode. But before we do that, quests. Well, fine then. Like we said, battle mode. I guess we don't get to look yet. That's okay. Alright, battle mode is where you can put the decks you create to the test. Solo battle mode allows you to play against a variety of AI opponents. It's a great place to practice, learn new strategies, and try out new ideas. Versus battle allows you to play against other players and is the ultimate test of skill. In Two-Headed Giant, team up with a friend to take on pairs of opponents. I am so excited for that. My Decks is where you can create and edit decks. Let's do this now. Do it now! Okay, so we can do the Deck Wizard, which is a step-by-step assistant, or we can use the Deck Builder, which gives us total control for advanced players. Tough call. It's the first time. Some of y'all may not have played. Let's do the Deck Wizard. What type of deck would we like to create? Browse the available options and choose my favorite. Ooh, we can enhance our creatures to outlast our opponent using white and black. Horde's Thunder. More lands means bigger creatures to smash our enemies with. Control the Sky. Defeat your opponent with an aerial assault while your ground creatures defend. That seems fun. All Out Assault. Hit the ground running. Finish your opponents before they have a chance to set up defenses. That seems fun. Tactical Tricks. Turn your small creatures into deadly combatants. Your opponent won't know what to block. Push Through. Summon a small army and use spells to protect it and win. Tempt with Fire. Turn the tables by stealing opponents' creatures and using them against your foes. Elvish Fury. Assemble an overwhelming army of elves. The right tools. Artifacts are cards which don't require a specific color to cast and often have unique, powerful effects. And From the Grave. Reuse and recycle cards using the power of your graveyard. Okay. We've got some good white-green cards already that we saw in our packs, and honestly, I just love white and green as a color combo. We're going to go with some Tactical Tricks. Welcome to the Deck Wizard, where we will help you build a deck of your own. To build your deck, move a card from the top half to the screen to the bottom. Any of the suggested cards is a good fit for your deck, so pick the one you like best. Alright, let's start with some low-cost creatures. Creatures with renown are perfect for this deck. They start small, but they become more powerful after hitting an opponent. That's the plan. So we only have one of her, as much as I would love to run more. Same with the Valoran Wardens, who is also going to be sick in this deck. We also have a play set of Sunblade Elves. And oh yes, since this is going to be a green-white deck, as long as we control planes it gets bigger, we are running all three that we can. Knight of the White Orchid, good, we're going to want those planes. Timberland Guide, when he enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Good for getting in there. And yes, we can run up to 4, so let's do it. Step complete. Okay, next. Combat Tricks. Surprise your opponent after blockers are declared with spells that improve your creatures, like pump spells that increase a creature's power and toughness. So, we have some options here. Primal Bellow, which relies on the number of forests we have. Might of the Masses, which relies on the number of creatures we control. Chorus of Might, which gives each creature we control +1/+1 and Trample, which will allow us to damage our opponents, which will let us trigger Renown more easily. So I think we want at least one, maybe 2 of those, because it is kind of expensive. I think for the rest of it, we probably want some Wild Size, since it draws a card to replace itself, and also gives Trample. We're going to use 3 of those. And I guess the deck wants me to run a little more. So let's do 1 more Wild Size. I guess it wants me to use 2 more. So then we'll use a Might, we'll use 2, well, we only have 1 Might of the Masses. So finally, we'll do 1 more Chorus of Might, because why not? Next. Personally, I don't think this is an exceptional number. I think that's too many. But again, we're just starting out, and it's the Wizard. So, fill our deck up. We have 18 more cards to fill with here, and it could be anything. Blessed Spirits, like I said, is good, but we're not really doing enchantments here. That's more of a black-white thing, so we're not going to take that. We are going to jam Kytheon's Irregulars, though, because it's amazing. Same with our one Grasp of the Hieromancer. It will let us get in. The Wizard's making us pick between these, though. So what we're going to do... Let's get some good... We got a bunch of 1, 2, and 3 drops already. Let's get some Primal Hunt Beasts in. They're hexproof, which means our opponent can't target them with spells. Again, we're on the early game, and Kithkin Skirmisher, when he enters the battlefield, gives a creature +1/+1 till end of turn, which will let us, you know, make sure our Renown guys stay alive to get in. I think we want 4 of those. That card's just spectacular. Flyers are good, and the 1/1 with Double Strike, it dies too easily. I would rather have a 2/2 with First Strike. However, the game seems to think I've had enough. And again, sure, why not? We're on the early beatdown train. Let's run some Elite Vanguards. At this point, I think it's better to run creature spells than non-creature spells, just since we have so many combat tricks already, and at the end of the day, a combat trick without a creature to cast it on is a pretty worthless spell. Finally, we're going to bring in some Perilous Mirrors, because even though this thing dies to anything, when it does die, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. That's awesome. And also, it's colorless, meaning it doesn't tax our mana. We have 2 more card slots, and I think Reprisal will be good. Dealing with big late-game threats can be difficult for our deck, and this seems like a good way to do it. We'll bring in 1 more mirror. Okay, we're done here. Meaning now, step 4, we have to add lands. The recommended number of type of lands have been automatically added. So from our base set, we get Guild Gates, which enter the battlefield tapped, but can be one of 2 things. We get our check lands, which is what these are called, because they check to see if you have a forest or a plain. So we have Sunpetal Grove. Since it's a rare, we only have 2 of them, unfortunately. And then we have a bunch of forests and a bunch of plains. And with all due respect to this deck, I don't think these numbers are right. 1, we should be running 4 of these, not 3. Finally, we're much more harshly in white than we are in green. We should be running more plains than forests. But I don't think we have any ability to change that. Now we have to choose an avatar, a background, and a name to represent the deck. What do we want to look like? Well, that guy looks awesome. She looks cool. That guy's got horns. She's got grass for hair. I like his crown. Savage. More savage, I take it back. Looks like a leaf. Looks like a fish. Devil. Makeup addiction. Ambiguous gender. Ambiguous eyeballs. Blue finger. Mascara. Panther. Okay, sooner or later with all these horns, the joke was going to happen. So, horny. Vampire. Laurel crown. Scurry. I like the gold skin. I like the rotting skin. I like the makeup. You're a rock guy. You're wearing a lot of bling. You look like a man of action. And you've got a dragon on your shoulder. That's freaking sweet. Okay, let's go with something that actually seems to be our colors, though. This guy looks sweet. Let's go with him. He's also kind of matches our color theme. So the real question of the day here is, what sort of geography do we want in our background? Do we want to look all plainsy? Do we want a forest thing going on? That one looks nice. No, that one... None of these look good with his face in front of them. Well, we definitely want to be in our colors, though. That would just be irresponsible to not be. Here's the plains. No, I think those are actually mountains. Let's go back. Yeah, those are mountains. These are plains. That looks good. I think I spent more time deciding what my box looks like than I did deciding on what goes into it. And finally, we'll call it... Renown deck, because creativity starts to run a bit dry at 2 in the morning. Alright, so we got a deck. And now we're going to go into it and modify it, because seriously, I do not trust the mana base. See if it'll let me change anything. Come on, I don't trust this. Alright, whatever, we're committed. Fine. To battle! Now that we have a deck, it's time to put it to use. Let's go to solo battle to give it a go. And we have to start with an easy duel, which you do earn gold as you fight the computer, and of course you'll probably want to fight the toughest computer you can get away with, because the rewards do get better, although the best rewards come from beating other players, which I believe give 20 gold, but obviously they'll be tougher than any computer. But still, we gotta do a quick easy mode, and then we'll throw down. Alright, we're up against the one with the nice gold skin there. That's cool. I wonder if we can ever run into ourselves. We're like fighting a mirror. Could be fun. Alright. Me versus the opponent. It's our turn. We won the dice roll, so we get to go first. Okay. So, one of the things that happen when you start, you get 7 cards in your opening hand. At the beginning of each game, you draw a hand of 7 cards. If you don't like your opening hand, you may take a mulligan, shuffling your hand into your library and drawing another 7 cards. If you take a second mulligan, you'll draw 1 fewer cards, so your hand will have 6 cards. Each subsequent mulligan will decrease your hand by 1 card. In most cases, you should take a mulligan if you have fewer than 2 lands or more than 5 lands in your opening hand. You may also want to take a mulligan if your opening hand has cards of one color and lands that produce another color. For example, if you have all green cards, but only islands, which produce blue. An important distinction here that I'm going to throw out right now. In Paper Magic, you do not get that second freebie of a 7 card. The first mulligan takes you straight to 6. I guess they're doing it on here since normal Magic also rounds are played first person to win 2 games. And I guess here, since it's just a 1 versus 1, they want to give a slightly more even footing to start with. Anyway, let's discuss this hand. This hand with 0 lands in it. And since you do not draw on your first turn if you're going first, there's no way we're even going to draw a land this turn. We cannot keep it. Okay, we mulligan here into a much better hand. We have a Plains, we have stuff to do with it. We also have a Selesnya Guildgate, which enters tapped, which means we couldn't do anything on our first turn. So what the play here is we could do a Plains, drop a creature, next turn the Guildgate enters tapped, we drop another creature, and then we just start going off. This is a good hand. We're going to keep it, we're going to play the Plains. Oh, for God's sake. We're going to play the Vanguard, and we're going to end our turn. This second hand was much stronger than our first. Because this one, the more important thing is you need to look at your hand to see if it actually has a strategy. Having good cards is one thing, but you need to make sure you're actually doing something as you go. Alright, Goblin Arsonist. When it dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Okay. And seeing as how our creature only has 1 toughness, if we kill that, he's just going to kill our creature. So instead, we're just going to give him an opportunity to have his goblin block our creature. I'm happy to trade here. And he does. And then that 1 damage, it has to go somewhere, so he'll just do it to our face. Honestly, it's 1 damage. This creature's off the board. I do not care less. So Selesnya's Guildgate comes onto the field. And then we're going to play another Elite Vanguard using our untapped Plains. So basically, we've got both our colors of mana now available, we still have a strong board state, and we're right back where we started. Our opponent does have a turn 2 play. It's a Perilous Mirror, which, as we discussed before, when it dies, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player, which once again is going to spell trouble for our Elite Vanguard. Go ahead and play our land here first in case we want to do some sort of instant trick. Even if we use, like, say, the wild size to make our creature bigger, we'll have 1 damage from combat on us, then he could do 2 damage to it, which will still kill our creature, which we don't want. So once again, we're just going to go ahead and attack our opponent. He's probably going to trade here. He'll kill my creature, and then using his Mirror's effect, he'll do 2 damage to me. which, once again, it's early, we're maintaining control of the field. I'm okay with this. Going to the second main phase now, we're going to play the Sunblade Elf, who, since we do control the planes, gets +1/+1. Oh, hello, a skill quest. Well, those usually give me gold, so... Hey, Mr. Robot, it's been a while. I missed you, man. How have you been?
Some creatures
How's the
have
family?
activated abilities. Abilities that let you pay a cost at any time to have an effect on the game. These costs can include tapping the creature, paying mana, or sacrificing the creature by putting it into the graveyard. You can activate abilities at any time. Stopping the timer gives you more time to activate an ability.
All right.
To complete this skill quest, survive your opponent's attack and win on your next turn.
Okay, let's see what this actually does. We can sacrifice it to deal 2 damage to target creature or player. So, we're going to stop the timer.
To use a creature's activated ability, zoom in on that creature. Remember, you can zoom in on any card by moving the cursor over it and scrolling the mouse wheel up.
Okay, so... Okay, so the timer stopped, we zoom in, there's the option, we click that, and we choose to deal 2 damage to the turn by sacrificing our creature. So now that the turn's dead, it doesn't get to do any damage to us. Ember Hauler, darn, I thought it was like a Boulder Hauler. I could make my turn unstoned joke again. Boo. Oh well. Let's go ahead and go to combat. Let's go ahead and end the tutorial and send the robot packing once again. Using our Cyclops. Oh god, don't look at the art. Don't look at the art. Just declare attacks. Okay. So the Cyclops get through, we win the tutorial, and we know how abilities
Activated abilities give your creatures added versatility
and we got
to handle
gold.
a wide range of threats.
Yeah. Okay. Back to fighting the gold-faced lady. So it's trying to tell me something, probably letting me know about my activated ability here that I currently cannot afford to use, but it might come in handy later. I could also this turn play another creature, which is my Kinsbale Skirmisher, which would give my creature +1/+1 till end of turn. Now, we wouldn't get to do anything with it since we can't attack this turn, but honestly, I want to get creatures on the field so that I can start going wild size and getting bigger. If we each just keep playing one creature, we're probably just going to keep trading and we're never actually going to get anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and play it and just, you know, let it go. It's still a 2-mana creature. It's still a 2-mana 2/2 creature. That's fine. So at the moment, we're just going to go wide. Since it seems our opponent either bricked on their land this turn or whatever and didn't hit anything, this is a good opportunity to hit them. We also have wild size if we need it in order to block any sort of kill spell they try to use on our creature. If it's something like Lightning Strike, we can just get bigger and the spell won't do enough damage to kill us. Okay, it's her declare blocker step, and she hasn't tried anything funny yet. I'm actually going to use the wild size here in order to try to draw, mostly to do extra damage, but also to try to draw a card, hoping to hit a land so that we can next turn cast our Primal Hunt Beast. If the card we get is a Plains, which it is, we can now cast the Vanguard in our second main phase. Well, I couldn't have scripted that better. That was exactly what we wanted to happen. We did extra damage to our opponent, we got to our 4th land, and we even managed to get another creature out. And next turn, we can drop the Primal Hunt Beast, which with its hexproof ability, our opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with. This is going spectacularly. Less spectacular is the fact that he has played a creature that is bigger than anything we control. But if we draw another land, we could use our Sunblade Elf's ability to get a prey. So let's maybe hope we do. We don't, but what we instead get is our Grasp of the Heromancer. Use the mana tapping button to cycle through available mana combinations to pay for this ability. Basically, this is how we get to choose what mana we want to use, and I believe it was right control. So yeah, we can see which mana is lit up there. That'll be what we use to cast. We want to use double white here. We want to keep the green up. I mean, we don't. It doesn't really matter. We don't have anything to do with it, but for the sake of argument, we want to keep the green up. So we're going to go ahead and cast Grasp of the Hieromancer. We're going to put it on the elf, it being our most powerful creature. It's the one we most want to keep alive. And we're just going to go ahead and swing with the team. Okay. Now, Sunblade Elf attacks, so the Grasp of the Hieromancer lets us tap a creature. We're going to tap the Mongrel. It gets tapped, meaning now during the declare blocker step, he doesn't have any untapped defenders, so we get in for 3, 5, 7. And next turn, basically we just have to do this again one more time and we win. So if our opponent doesn't draw a creature next turn, we're just going to run him over. He of course cannot afford to attack, but he does have another creature. It has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, they draw a card and discard a card. This is also, unfortunately, another 3/3 creature, meaning we're going to have to make some uncomfortable decisions here in a moment if we don't draw a land. And we didn't. But what we did draw is Gideon's Irregulars. We can't use him and his ability this turn, but what we can go ahead and do is go ahead and declare combat. And yes, we're going to attack with all once again. And we're going to go ahead and tap down the Flying Fish. Yes, it's strange. So our opponent might choose to trade with the 3/3 here because of that beneficial ability. But he doesn't. Instead, he just chooses to block the 2/2. Which means he will eat the 2/2, and that's fine, because we've got our opponent down to 2 life, and Gideon's Irregulars is going to do some major work for us this turn. Because we can use his ability twice, tapping down up to 2 creatures, and then if our elf is still alive, that will let us tap down a 3rd, meaning we can attack next turn with almost impunity. He does play another creature that attacks each turn if able, but he can't afford to. Everything seems to have worked out, guys. We're going to bring up Gideon's Irregulars, activating its ability. And we're going to tap down his 5/3. Using the mana tapping key to see different ways you can pay for this ability. Okay, no, it's fine. The way we've got it's good. So, if the ability resolves, his creature gets tapped. That was fun. Let's do it again. So we tap down his other creature now. Now, we go to combat. And we attack with everybody. We confirm the attack. The Sunblade Elf, using the Grasp of the Hieromancer, taps down his final creature, and the whole army gets through. Remember when I was happy about pulling Gideon's Irregulars out of that pack? Now you know why. That card does work. We win! And Gideon's Irregulars also got renowned in the last second since it did combat damage. Isn't that lovely? Okay. So we have done the damage. We have beaten the computer. We know. And I guess I don't know what that's about. Congratulations, you have constructed your own deck and taken on powerful planeswalkers. You have unlocked every play mode. If you need more help and information, help and options has a lot of useful info. Great. New quests are given out every day. They're a great way to try new things and earn coins to improve your collection. So let's see what we have. The community chest, and I don't think that one has reset for the week. That's basically every player as they do something like cast a bunch of spells, flip a bunch of planeswalkers, do whatever. That's a community one that takes a week. And after a week, if we as a community have hit our objective, we all get cash money. Well, gold. Great stuff. Anyway, so Arcane Melee is our daily. We deal 30 damage to our opponent or opposing creatures outside of combat. So basically, spells that do damage, creature abilities, that sort of thing. Shouldn't be too hard. We'll probably have to build a deck around it, but that won't be so bad. That actually that's fun. It'll encourage us to do something different while we beat up on the AI in order to earn more gold for more booster packs. And now that we have access to everything, we have to decide what's next. We can go to story mode, and while we don't get packs for unlocking any of the rest of these guys, what we do get at the end is a bunch of gold. We also, of course, have battle mode, where... Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's a skill quest. I regret coming here now. Where we can face against other players, we can do solo battles, we can do two-headed giants, we can do deck building. That's going to be so exciting. We can look at our card collection, we can look at our quests. There's so much stuff to do. I'm so excited. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut the recording here. I'm going to spend some time thinking about what to do next, what sort of thing I want to work on tonight. Thanks for watching, guys, and this will be up on the channel very soon. Hope you all stick around. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do. Thanks for watching.